It's always a good day when I can do an old versus new with a Transformers Cybertron figure. Transformers Cybertron is my heart. It's what got me into Transformers when I was a kid. It was basically my G1, and I pretty much have all the original toys, and I'm absolutely all in on any and all generations, legacy, whatever redos they make of Cybertron characters. And our latest one, and potentially our greatest, is Deluxe Hotshot. This Hotshot is very surprising. Not only does it have to stand up against one of the best Deluxes in the Cybertron line, arguably one of the best Deluxes ever, but it does so pretty successfully in my opinion. Literally, like, it stands up to it very well. They are the same size. I was shocked when I first got this Hotshot in the mail. I was like, wow, it's the same size. Do I have that on all the way? Probably not. Probably not. Come on. There we go. Anyways, yeah, I was very surprised with the size of it when I unboxed it, because I'm used to Deluxes being like about this big, not this big. And the fact that they actually kept Cybertron Hotshot his original size without really making any massive changes or cutbacks and actually adding articulation and engineering is very, very commendable. I'm very, very happy with this new Hotshot. Both of them do come with pretty much the same kind of accessories. They both have the same gun. This one obviously fires a missile. That one fires a missile. Not really worried about that. But this one, it's just painted. And it's funny how they actually painted the trigger also gunmetal. But yeah, it's just a nice little gun. It does have a little peg on the tip if you want to give them blast effect. I appreciate that. They both also have Cyberplanet keys. Now, I'm not sure if this is the exact Cyberplanet key for the original Hotshot, because they all have little codes on the back for Transformers.com. I don't know if this is the exact code for Hotshot. Really, I don't care. I have several of these kinds of keys. I'm sure I've got Hotshot's real one. Not worried about being so accurate in this video that I have the exact code, like the exact correct key. I'm not that picky. But here we can see the sculpt is pretty much there. I do wish the new ones were painted. I do think that is a cut corner that I definitely think they could do. But honestly, all I really would have to do is just take a little bit of silver, and then, I mean, it's all raised detailing, and it's all edge work too, so it would be pretty easy to paint that myself. But still, I do appreciate the inclusion. There's just non-functioning little accessories just to give them. Obviously, for the original Hotshot, its main functionality was popping out these wings, either in robot or in vehicle mode. So you can just kind of see that there. But this one, absolutely non-functioning. It just slots in. Then these wings are just on hinges. I kind of wish those were still clear plastic, but I'm not worried about it. But yeah, pretty much the same accessories, pretty much same height. They're both Deluxe class, which I very much appreciate. Obviously, this one does have that spring-loaded gimmick on the backpack with those wings. But as you can see, it makes the backpack huge. Like, it's far above his head. While this one, the backpack is far more subdued. It's actually on, like, a hinge to, you know, be more properly positioned. And I very much appreciate that. I think they both accomplished the look of Cybertron Hotshot so perfectly. I'm such a big fan of both of these figures. Taking a look at our OG Hotshot first, I love the sculpt on this. It's so angular, so robotic, so mid-2000s robot toy. It's so great. I wish I had this mold as a kid, but unfortunately I didn't get it until I was a collector. I really just appreciate the detailing. One thing I love is the blue plastic. If you look really, really close, you can see the blue paint is metallic, but also the blue plastic has some of that like metallic sparkle to it to match. And I think they did a pretty good job matching the metallics and everything. That looks really nice. All the wheels are pinned and painted, which I definitely appreciate. And overall, I just think he looks gorgeous. I especially love the head sculpt. Something about that head sculpt, it just looks so good. Not necessarily accurate to how Hotshot looked in the show. I feel like the new one captures his face a little bit more accurately. But I love the clear visor over his eyes. It just looks really nice. And overall, I'm just a big fan. I love the look of the chest and all that. It's such a good figure. For articulation on the old one, it's actually pretty impressive. Like, the points of articulation are there, but the posability is where it kind of struggles. So he does have a swivel at the head, which is very appreciated. You can move the shoulders up for transformation, but you can move them up. He does have swivels at the arms, but you do have to be mindful with these. because you have to make sure they are perfectly aligned with the backpack. If the backpack is slightly tilted, you're not going to be able to really turn them. So you have to make sure it's perfectly lined up. You do not have a bicep swivel of any kind. All of that is used with this ball joint at the elbow. There's nothing at the wrist, nothing to move this panel out of the way. The waist does not turn, but it does have ball joints at the hips. They move forward okay. They don't really move out at all, though, so it's pretty much just forward. No thigh swivel. You do have a nice knee bend, and you kind of have some ankle articulation for transformation. You know, you could probably use those for certain poses, like right there. I'm kind of using it for a pose. But yeah, it's just for transformation. I'm just wasting your time. But yeah, overall, really nice figure. I really can't get over like the feel of the plastic. It just feels very high quality, and it's a very, very nice toy. I feel like the new one does a great job of carrying over the legacy of the old one. I mean, it's literally in a line called Legacy. I love the head sculpt. I feel like it's far more accurate to the cartoon. Like, his face just looks more accurate. I feel like his eyes are kind of recessed in there, though. Like, he's got this big old visor right above, and, you know, in certain poses, you can't really see the eyes too well. But still, I really do love that head sculpt. It's really nice. The shoulders still got big old screws in them. I love that. He does not have painted rims, unfortunately, but at least the upper ones are pinned. You know, at least half of them are. Overall, though, they didn't really skip out on any paint. You know, the torso still has all the same paint. He's got nice reds on the shoulders. He actually does have different colored hands because they are on joints. You can actually rotate these panels on the side, which I appreciate. He still has some nice paint on the legs. His plastic isn't as, like, metallic flaky, but it does still have a little bit of, like, a metallic swirl to it. You can see it's got, like, a little bit going on. Kind of like a... You can especially see it on that arm panel right there if you look really close. But it doesn't have those metallic flakes that you saw with the old one. Overall, I definitely love the look, and I really feel like even the plastic quality really is very similar to the old one. Like, this feels great. It really does. I mean, as you saw, it's one of the most robust deluxe classes they've done in a long time, even though it's actually not the first modern hotshot from Cybertron we've gotten, because we have this one. The Siege Hound retool that's kind of supposed to be like Cybertron Defense Hotshot, but it's clearly just Hound with Hotshot's head on him. I still love this one. I'm not going to get rid of this one. But clearly, for a Transformers Cybertron like modernized collection, one is far better than the other. And you can see, like, average deluxe size, Hotshot. He's huge. Alright, going over the awesome articulation on the new one. The head not only is on a ball joint, where you can get, like, some tilts and everything, but it's also on a hinge. So you can, like, hinge it forward, hinge it back. It just works so well and so nicely with that ball joint. You get a lot of articulation out of that head sculpt. The shoulders are similar, but they do make some improvements. So the shoulders still do move out like that, and obviously, you know, they're going to get in the way of the head. This is one of the few design changes where it's not like the shoulders on the old one, they literally just go around the head, but the shoulders on this one, the head's going to fold away. However, they did add an extra joint right up here where you can move the arms up just a little bit more. And I definitely appreciate that, for sure. Definitely appreciate that. They also work moving in a little bit, which I also appreciate. You know, if you want, you could probably try to pose the arms to make him look like he's shooting the gun with, you know, holding onto it with both hands. That looks really nice. Love that. He does have a bicep swivel this time around, which I very much appreciate. And before you say, oh, look at the hollowness on the arm, you know, there's hollow bits on the old one too. Like, look in that arm right there. There's hollow bits are not new, guys. I'm sorry, they're not. Look in the thigh. There's little hollow squares. I'm sorry. People act like hollowness is a new thing for Transformers, but it's not. It's literally, you know, the best way to produce a piece in just one mold instead of having like a plastic cover, because that would make these things far more expensive. I mean, do you see the price of upgrade kits that are just plastic covers? Like, imagine just having to pay that base price into a figure, you know? I wouldn't want to do that. So you do have a bicep swivel. You have a nice elbow bend. The wrists can swivel, which I appreciate. But you can also swivel the arm panels a little bit. They are attached by nice standard pegs, and you can just straight up remove them if they're really bothering you, which I've never imagined seeing a Cybertron hotshot without the arm panel. That's actually kind of surreal. but still, really appreciate that. He does have a waist swivel this time around, which works very, very nice. Loving that. I don't remember if that's a part of the transformation or not. It might be. I'll figure it out. I've already transformed this guy, but I don't remember if that's crucial. His legs, check this out. So, remember how the old one, like, could move up? Well, this one can definitely move up. And the old one couldn't move out to the side. This one absolutely can move out to the side. You do have a thigh swivel this time around as well. You do have a nice knee bend, which works very well. And down by the feet, you do still have like an ankle joint right there for transformation, but you now have an ankle tilt as well. So that definitely helps a lot. I love it. The only thing I wish he had was like a hinge to move the foot down some, so he could, you know, do a more proper stomp or something. But hey, I feel like we can finally pose a Cybertron hotshot, like skidding around, you know? This is so cool. I love all these modern Cybertron figures. One that I feel like a lot of people forget about is Override, too. Override's a really great one. But yeah, I can't wait to have this guy posed along with Override and Optimus and all the other modern Cybertron figures. Optimus is one of those where it's like, it's also a retool, but I feel like they retooled it extensively enough where I can put that Siege Galaxy Upgrade Optimus along with all these guys. I don't mind. I really hope the next one we get is like a leader class Cybertron Megatron. That's the one I'm really hoping we get next. But as you can see, articulation is so cool on this hotshot. And it just, overall, quality-wise, feels really good. I have very little complaint. Alright, time to get these guys transformed, so go ahead and remove that. I'm not going to, like, retract those. You already saw how that works. But we can just take the arms, move them up, and then the head's just kind of poking right there very adorably. The back panel is going to rotate around and just kind of rest right there. We'll straighten the arms. The feet will fold in and then tab the legs together. It's such a super simple transformation, but it's so effective. And then the legs will just push in. There we go. He was one of those where you push in the legs instead of like collapsing them like modern figures, and you'll see that difference. And then just put the arms in, finish the doors, and then this gun, you can just peg on top. There you go. There's Cybertron Hotshot in his car mode, looking very, very slick. Ah, what the heck, I'll do it anyway. Just so you can see, you know, no wings. And then Cyber Planet Key! Da, 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 da. Yeah, nothing too special for his Cyber Planet Key gimmick, but very, very nice car mode. And you can definitely see what I mean with, like, the painted metallic blue, matching the metallic blue plastic very well. I think they did a good job with that. We'll take a closer look at this car once we have the new one transformed. The new one's transformation is very similar, but they definitely add a lot of new and interesting aspects to it. So starting off similarly, we can't just move the shoulders up because they're going to collapse into the head. So what we need to do, we need to take this back panel and untab this. And then that will fold back just like that. And then we can... I do want to rotate the head because otherwise you're going to see his face poking out of the windshield. Then we'll just collapse that. And then we can move the shoulders up and tab those together. Then straighten the arms. And then this panel, as you can see, it's on this hinge now, so it actually like shimmies down, so it's not as much in the way. I'm trying to remember, do we rotate the waist? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. So then we'll just kind of tab that up there just like we did. And then the legs. The legs, they don't just push in. You're going to open up these panels and then collapse them up just like that. Pretty modern, you know, it's something we've seen especially ever since Combiner Wars. The feet are interesting. The feet don't fold down, they actually fold in. You do the ankle rocker and then fold the foot in and then put it back so the foot is like fully concealed. Put those panels back. There we go. And then this panel will then close up back there. And then we can also put those in and then flip them out. And then, last but not least, just like the old one, put in the doors. Tab those in. Make sure all that is secure. There we go. And then, yeah, there's our new hotshot in his car mode. And he is also looking super duper slick. Let's also get the gun on him. But the gun on this one, they added more tabs, so you can actually have it like off to the side, which I think looks kind of better. You could have it more up front. You know, you have more options with that, and I appreciate that. But we can also just flip out the wings. They're just kind of poking out just right there. Flip them out. And there we go. Here's the new one in his car mode. And looking at the size of the car, you can see the old one is ever so slightly bigger. Ever so slightly. I feel like it's just where it's slightly larger in just a few little dimensions. Just a few. But still, I think they did a great job with the new one. Looking at both these cars, you can see both of them have super nice, clear yellow windshields. I love the windshields on both of these. They look so good. The new one doesn't have a little Autobot symbol in the front, which is odd. I actually liked that detail on the old one. Also, it doesn't have clear headlights. And it does also have like this dark, like the dark blue for the joints right there. But I kind of don't mind that color separation. I actually think it looks kind of nice. It still has the paint for like the intakes on the side. I guess that's the intakes. Still has the yellow on the top. Overall, you know, still pretty well preserved detail-wise, for sure. The back's not as clean, because it has all the joints for like the ankle tilts and everything. But it's not that big of a deal. Overall, I think both of these are very successful cars. I can definitely feel the old one's a little heavier, for sure. I mean, it's an old Cybertron figure compared to a modern one. What do you expect? But I still definitely think this is a very worthy modern update to this awesome figure. So, with all of that being said, what do I think about this old versus new? Do I think I have a winner between these two? Well, let's just say whenever I want to pick up a Cybertron hotshot to like play with in robot mode, I'm going to go for the new Legacy one. Like if I want the figure of hotshot, I will go for Legacy. But if I just want to pick up Cybertron hotshot and transform him, I'm going to go for the old one. The transformation is so simple, yet so efficient. I love the heft of it. It's just such a well-engineered toy. However, you know, just kind of like Cybertron Starscream as well. I feel like the new one is just a more modern update when it comes to updating the robot mode to make it a far more successful action figure rather than big chunky mid-2000s robot toy. You know, but I feel like both of them still capture that Cybertron energy very well. I feel like these modern Cybertron figures have done a great job of capturing the energy of the original toy line. I feel like the one that's probably the weakest at capturing the energy is probably this hotshot. But then again, he was just a repaint, you know? He wasn't, you know, trying to really be an exact replica like, say, Override or this hotshot or Starscream. But, you know, he was far less of a retool than, say, Vector Prime or Galaxy Upgrade Prime. But overall, I love both these hotshots. I love them both. As a huge Cybertron fan, I'm so happy to have both of these in my collection. I highly recommend both of them. If you want to get this hotshot, and then maybe like a repaint of this, they've done some cool repaints. They've done Excellion. They've done like the red Excellion, which was like a really rare Takara repaint. What else have they done? They've done Breakaway. They've done like a really rare BotCon Goldbug, like Shattered Glass Goldbug. I'd love to get that one, but I don't know. I'd love to see this mold get used for like a Shattered Glass Goldbug or something else. I don't know. Excellion. I want to see this mold get another use because it's such a good figure. But yeah, I recommend both of them. You know, maybe have one in one color, one in another. But me, being a huge Cybertron fan, I'll take them all. I will take them all. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which one you think is best down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members as well. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.